All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Live. Transportation, accommodations, meals, admission fees, gifts, gratuities. It all adds up, and your trips can get rather expensive. Local travel expert Troy Pietenbrink is back with us here, joining us today to provide some money-saving travel tips for the new year. So why don't we start with where can people cut costs when it comes to travel?
Yeah, well, I think, for a lot of folks, they understand the basics. They're going to price compare, they're going to go to different websites and those sort of things. But really, there's so many different places where you can save some money. And this year is shaping up to be a great travel year. I mean, they are expecting a 40% increase in spending this year.
Wow.
People are feeling so positive about the economy, and the exchange rates are so great. Airline fares are low, so a lot of people are going to be hitting the road.
Is now a good time, this time of month, time of year to book?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now's a great time to book. We're not sure what the future holds politically and stuff, so you're seeing like a little bit of unrest in different places. So now's actually a pretty good time. The dollar is strong.
Good.
And that's actually one of my biggest points, exchange rates. The exchange rates have been phenomenal. I mean, Europe right now, we are it's almost on par with the euro, dollar for dollar.
That's
Canada is a big 30% off sale. Mexico's half price.
Wow.
It's just amazing how strong the dollar is. But exchanging your money can cost you up to 15% penalties in some cases if you do it wrong. So a lot of folks, they go and they see these exchange, kiosks at the airports and stuff. That's the worst.
Don't do that.
That is absolutely the worst. Do not do that. Do not do that. One of the best ways to get your money is just use an ATM at a real bank overseas.
Oh.
Just go straight to an ATM at a bank. At a bank, not one of those random kiosks.
Because then what, you pay the bank?
So you're only going to pay that smaller transaction fee. So what you see in the paper is what they call the interbank. That's what banks pay each other. What we do is we pay this spread. They're going to make a few bucks when they're exchanging it. And then other places will start adding on fees, a service charge, a convenience fee. So you kind of want to know what the interbank rate is, look at what's published, and then compare that to what you're getting. And in some cases, you can do it for like 2 or 3% more as opposed to 15%.
Yeah, not bad at all.
So that's the biggest tip is there, is to use that. Credit cards aren't so bad either. That would be the next thing you would do. After that would be use your credit card.
So still better to take cash out.
Cash out at ATM. And then again, even with that, think about this. A lot of banks have partnerships with overseas banks, so you avoid the ATM fees on top of that.
Oh, nice.
So it's always good to check with your bank and say, hey, I'm visiting, I'm going to be in London. What bank should I go use? And they have partnerships.
Excellent.
So that's a great one.
All right, tell me about CITYPASS.
CITYPASS. I love CITYPASSes. So CITYPASS has been around for about 20 years. They're actually going to be celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. They're in 12 different cities, and what these allow is you get a coupon book for admission to most of the major attractions.
Interesting.
So they're in 12 different cities. So like in Atlanta, for example, you can go to the Georgia Aquarium, you can go to the CNN tour studio.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Lots of different fun things for one set price. And in that case, it costs you like around $77 to go to 5 different attractions that would normally cost you about $135.
Wow.
And they have, like I said, they have these in about 12 different cities, even Toronto in Canada.
So plan a trip around a CITYPASS.
Plan a trip around the CITYPASS. And even places that don't have CITYPasses, oftentimes you go to a local tourism bureau and you're asked them, hey, do you guys have a discount card or something like that for your museums? And lots of times they do.
All right, I was told a long time ago by somebody, if it's too good to be true when it comes to saving money, it probably is. So do these vacation package websites really save you money and work?
They can.
Okay.
Does involve a little bit of homework.
All right.
So you're going to want to price compare. So for example, I was recently looking at going down to Florida. I looked at airline and hotel separately, and then I went to American Airlines thing and said, okay, what if I just added on my hotel through them? $350 savings.
Wow.
So it can benefit you, and it's definitely worth exploring. Because a lot of these places, Orbitz, Travelocity, they all have that service where you can do flight, hotel, even car rental. In some cases, you can even add on a few attractions. So what they're looking at is we're going to make a little bit of money off of each, so we're not going to necessarily gouge you as much. And oftentimes, they are also getting prices that you and I can't get anywhere.
Sure.
So definitely
American Airlines can have a deal with every Hilton hotel.
Exactly.
We're going to bring you business. You're going to bring us business.
Exactly. So that's how they do that.
Okay. Now, once we're on our vacations, how can we save money once we're on the trip?
Eat lunch.
What does that mean?
It's so interesting. When we're planning vacations, everybody always says, well, we're going to go out and have a nice dinner.
Right.
We're going to go here for dinner. They want to go to these favorite restaurants and stuff. do you know in a lot of cases you're paying 30% more for the same dishes at dinner as compared to
As
lunch?
you could get at lunch. Interesting. Because you never think about taking. It's
You
like you get
never
up for
think
breakfast, you spend all day out, you take a nap, and then you go out to dinner.
Right. So do it the opposite.
Wow.
Go have a nice midday lunch. Oftentimes it's easier to get into those restaurants too. So when you're thinking about those really hot spots you want to get into, oftentimes dinner is one of the worst times. You can't get a reservation.
Right.
So lunch, oftentimes cheaper, easier to get in. I always recommend go have a nice lunch.
All right. If there was one trip you would take to Europe, where would you go?
If I was going to Europe, well, you know I'm a big fan of Slovenia. We've talked about that. But Europe in general, so cheap. $1, €1 hasn't been this good in years, and airfares are record lows.
Great. Always great to see you, my friend. Thanks, Troy.
Pleasure.
And where can people go for more information?
Go to my website, thegaytraveler.com. There's even a few more tips on there. So more details.
More of LTL in a moment. Back.